Hi guys, welcome back to the show. It's Monday, the first day of March, and hard to believe we're only 2 weeks away from when my family went into isolation. 2020. We've rarely been out of the house, haven't been to a store in 50 weeks, if you can imagine. And now's the time when we really could use a little music to help get us through. So today I'm going to look at a band leader, a big band leader. Maybe a lot of you may not be familiar with him, but he's the kind of guy that if you went through your parents' record collection, you might find some of his albums. And I'm talking about James Last. Now, this one's kind of a sampler. It's not really a greatest hits. It's called James Last Does His Thing, Happy Music. And it covers a lot of the style of music James Last played. Just to give you an example, I'll show you inside the gatefold. There's a lot of different albums. And again, it's not songs from all of these. It's not necessarily a greatest hits, but it kind of gives you a sample of what James Last does. Popular songs like Secret Love and El Contrapasa. We got Blueberry Hill, Hanky Panky. We got the song Aquarius from the musical Hair. And James Last did a whole album of music from the musical Hair. And for me, that was one of my favorites as well. Blowing in the Wind by Bob Dylan. Everybody Loves a Lover. Downside, it doesn't tell me who's playing on them. So I got the James Last Orchestra, but I'm really not sure who the players are on all of these. Excellent players. It would be nice to give them some credit. Where James Last really excelled, and I think where a lot of people would get their first exposure to him, was a series he had called Non-Stop Dancing. This one's Non-Stop Dancing 12. And what it was he would take popular songs, probably about a minute and a half segment of them, combine them together into a track that lasted maybe 3 or 4 minutes. And it was a great party album because you could put it on at your house. It was great background music. If people wanted to dance, the songs kind of all melded together. It made a great set of music. And it was all popular tunes that people knew. Not a lot of improvising, not a lot of complex arrangements, just fun music with a big band playing. Give you some idea what he had on Non-Stop Dancing 12. The first track, Hey Tonight by John Fogerty, She's a Lady by Paul Anka, and What is a Life by George Harrison. So you can see that's the style of music he's putting together. We also have Cracklin' Rosie by Neil Diamond, Rose Garden by Joe South, Silver Moon by Mike Naismith, who was one of the Monkees, After Midnight by J.J. Cale. We've got The Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin, and who would expect to find that on a big band album. Look What They've Done to My Song, Ma by Melanie Safka. Another Day, McCartney, Have You Seen the Rain by John Fogerty, Ruby Tuesday, Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones. All popular songs put together in a very accessible big band package. Now, if you're myself, a trumpet player, I really enjoyed the trumpet playing on the albums. And from about 1976 through to 1994, James Last had Derek Watkins, a session player from London that played on his albums. If you go on Derek's Wikipedia page, you'll find out which albums he was actually featured on. Now, whether you've heard the name Derek Watkins before or not, I'm going to bet every one of you has heard him play. He was a lead session player, and he did the music for every James Bond film from Dr. No through to Skyfall. So all those great trumpet high notes you're hearing, that's Derek. And one of the albums, I actually had one myself way back, and I always enjoyed it as a soundtrack album, but there's some excellent playing on there, was Thunderball. Now, unfortunately, again, there's no listing of players. We know the music composed and conducted by John Barry, an excellent composer. We've got Tom Jones doing the theme song. And other than that, it's just music from the movie, but some excellent playing. And I've said this before. If you go back and look at any of the soundtracks that we have, where you actually listen to them when you're in the theater and kind of pay attention to what the music is, there is some excellent playing going on. And a lot of times these session players or the soundtrack guys, people take them for granted. And without them, the musical experience would be very different. So next time you're in the theater or next time you're watching a video, just give a listen to the guys that are providing the atmosphere for you. And if you enjoy some excellent trumpet playing, take a look at any of the James Bond soundtracks. Again, Dr. No through to Skyfall, Derek Watkins. If you go on YouTube and query his name, you'll actually find a number of guest appearances he made with the James Last Orchestra as well. So it's also on there. So today we're looking at very accessible, fun big band music by James Last. And you know, I was surprised. I was looking up information on him. 200 million albums sold. You can't argue with that kind of success. Available on streaming networks, available in hard copies. Take a few minutes and check them out. Maybe it's just what you're looking for. Okay, that's it for Monday. We'll see you on Wednesday when we'll be looking at classic rock. Everybody have a great weekend. Stay safe, and we'll see you then.